All right, what's going on, everyone? Today we got some new updates about what's coming soon to GTA Online, starting as soon as next week. So before we get into it, if you guys aren't already, make sure to be subscribed and put on post notifications, and also don't forget to drop a like. So Rockstar is going to be introducing the license plate creator as well as some vehicle pricing adjustments within these next few weeks. So starting next week on April 20th, Rockstar is going to be launching a new web-based license plate creator for customizing vanity plates in GTA Online. And with this new tool, you can create to 30 custom plates by placing orders via desktop or mobile web browsers and then pick up and apply the plate in game. So this is going to be extremely similar to the iFruit app that was sadly taken down last year in the regular app store and whatnot. And Rockstar is going to be adding it to a website. I guess it's either going to be called iFruit or they could have some different type of name. Either way, next week that license or the name of that website is going to be revealed to us, or it could even be probably leaked even beforehand. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm guessing it's going to be extremely similar to iFruit, how like the setup is, the vehicles and stuff like that. But I think Rockstar is going to make it a bit more simpler, because the thing is, for iFruit, you basically had to have like the last 10 vehicles, and that's the one that you could apply certain upgrades to. But I think Rockstar is going to make it so that any vehicle that you want in your garage or whatever, that's the vehicle that you could add a plate to. And it's cool that you could have up to 30 custom plates instead of I think it was like 5 or 10. So that's actually gonna be really nice. Again, it's gonna be probably gonna the same with the ordering as well. You're just gonna do it on your phone or on the desktop, and then you have to pay like $100,000 in game, or maybe even lower, just to apply it to your vehicle. So that's pretty cool. Now, besides that, Rockstar is going to be adding some ongoing improvements. They already started with the first dose mission called Fatal Inclusion, where the difficulty adjustments and also the amount of money was awarded, and also for the last dose missions as well. And they do plan on having some changes soon, even after these next few weeks, probably into the summer update as well. Now, something big that's happening on the 27th is going to be the prices of some vehicles changing. So this is honestly one of the biggest things in GTA Online, and I'm glad that Rockstar has finally taken notice of it, and they're finally going to be changing it. So for some vehicles, for example, like the Imprante Ruiner 2000 and the Stromberg, the prices will be lowered because obviously fun vehicles and just unique. But then when it comes to kind of OP vehicles like the MK2, which we all know, that's going to be increased by a lot. So Rockstar has a full list of the vehicles that are going to be changed for now. They're going to be having much more in the future, but this is what we're going to be getting starting on April 27th. So let's go break down pretty much every single vehicle. So first off, we have the armored box fill, which is not really a used car, so Rockstar put it down to $1,300,000. I think it's a pretty fair price. The Akula, it's a really good helicopter, and it has like the stealth mode on it, so I think it's kind of reasonable to have it a little bit higher, but I would say maybe it's a little bit too much. I think $4 million would have been a lot better, but $4.5 million is not the worst. For the Granger 3600 LX, Rockstar for some reason increased the price. I think this is honestly probably one of the worst vehicles. It's not a bad vehicle, it's a cool vehicle, but it's just the price wise, it's not really that good. This came out, I think, with like the Criminal Enterprises update or something like that, or it might have been a contract. And it's like, it's cool to FBI vehicle, but it's basically like the regular Granger that we already had. So putting it more higher doesn't really make that much sense. I think Rockstar honestly should have put it lower, maybe to like 1 million or just even less than that. But that's obviously their choice. The Scramjet is going to be much more higher at $4 million. Not too bad of an increase, but the Scramjet is a pretty fun vehicle. I can see why Rockstar probably increased the price, but I think it should have been lower. The Apache Champion, for some reason, Rockstar increased the price. I don't know why. The vehicle is good, but it's not worth that much. The Chernobog finally went down to $1.5 million, which makes a lot more sense. The Chernobog is it's a decent vehicle, but it's kind of bad since you can't shoot the missiles unless you're stationary. So that's kind of what puts it at such a low price like that. So it makes a lot of sense. The Deluxo, I feel like it was overpriced, so Rockstar putting it pretty much $1 million more, I feel like it's kind of dumb. But obviously that's just my opinion. But I think the Deluxo, it's not too crazy overpriced, but it still is really expensive. And then Ruiner 2000, finally Rockstar put their price down too. So for that vehicle, it's a really fun vehicle, and when it first came out, maybe it made sense to be that price because it was kind of OP when it came out back in like 2015, 2016, maybe 17. But now putting it down, I think that's pretty reasonable. The Thruster that came out with the Doomsday, putting it down makes sense. The Tula, putting it down as well, I think that's pretty good. It could go even lower, maybe to $3 million. The Stromberg, the price I feel like is pretty reasonable. It's kind of close to the Toreador, which is basically like the Mark 1 version of it, so I could see why Rockstar put it down. That makes sense. And then the Oppressor, the first one, Mark 1, putting it down makes sense as well. It's not as good as the MK2, but it's definitely up there, so I think this is going to be really useful for new players. And then for the big one, of course, the MK2 going from a $3.8 million price, and that's if you don't even have the trade price by having the terabyte and getting the client jobs done. So with those, you actually get it's actually $2.5 million, but now with Rockstar changing their prices, going up to a whopping $8 million, which is the most expensive vehicle on this price list so far. Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, it's an OP vehicle, even with the nerfs that Rockstar changed. This is definitely, I think it's a good change, but I think that at this point, GTA Online, most people already have it, so I don't think it's going to really affect that many players, but it could stop, maybe like a couple hundred players from not buying the MK2, and obviously that can prevent less griefing. But at this point, I think Rockstar should just probably put the price up, a lot more sooner when it came out back in like 2018. And then the Toreador, like I was saying earlier, it's like basically the Mark II version of the Stromberg. I think putting the price up makes a lot more sense, but again, I think most people already have this. It's a pretty, well-known vehicle. And the weaponized Ignis, this is a vehicle that's only on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. The price increase is honestly dumb because the Ignis is like, I think the Ignis is like $1 or $2 million, like, the regular Ignis that's on all platforms. And then they put literally a little machine gun on the weaponized Ignis, and it was 3.2, which is, I think, one of the like just overpriced as ever. They're putting it at 4.5 is even more crazier. Again, that's just my opinion, but wow, Rockstar. That is wild. But I mean, I think most people already have that vehicle too. But I would say if you're on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, still haven't bought weaponized Ignis. It's just, if you want a fast car like that, just get the regular. It's kind of cool with the HSW upgrades, but man, paying like $5 million for that car is not really worth it. And then lastly, we have the Bambushka, which is honestly one of probably the most popular vehicles since it is one of the most expensive planes in the game. Pretty much at a whopping $6 million, but now it's at 4.7. So I think it's, kind of reasonable. Should have went down to probably $3 million, but I see why Rockstar probably kept it up there. It's a pretty big plane. But yeah, that's pretty much all the changes for the vehicles that we have so far. And Rockstar does say that they're going to have some more, few adjustments that are going to be happening pretty soon. Most likely going to be happening with the summer update and probably even in the December update. I know Rockstar has a lot of, plans and stuff like that. Obviously, we see with the Criminal Enterprises update as well as the recent update, the Drug Wars, that Rockstar wants to have some changes, and I'm glad that they are. And I think honestly, if they continue this in the future, a lot of people are going to be more happy. And I expect a lot of more vehicles to be changing prices because some of them, when it first came out, it made sense to have it really high, but putting it at that price range, just keeping it like that for years now doesn't really make that much sense, and it's overpriced. But now with Rockstar putting it down, it makes a lot more sense. And then for overpowered vehicles, I mean, with the recent update, we really haven't had that many new ones that have been added, kind of similar to the MK2, but there's probably some vehicles that will be added in the future that are just going to be a lot more money that they should be. So hopefully Rockstar will be adjusting that. And then besides, vehicle prices, there's a lot of other changes that Rockstar could do, and I hope to see that pretty soon. But honestly, I am pretty excited next week for the License Plate Creator. We've been waiting pretty much over a year since the, I think the summer special update came out is when the iFruit ads started acting weird. So it's glad that Rockstar, or I think actually no, I might have been Los Angeles Tuners. That's when Rockstar's iFruit app started bugging. But it's good that they officially really fixed it now, and they're going to be having a special website. Of course, when that releases, I'm sure to let you guys know how to get started with that. So definitely look forward to that here on the channel. But that was all for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to subscribe and put on post notifications. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, what you guys think about this. Drop a like if you did enjoy, find this helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.